What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Fan Film Talk. I am your host, Colin K. and I have two very special guests today. You might know them from Mystery Incorporated, Power Rangers Shattered Past, Arrow Unlimited, and more. Today, I have Dade, Elza, and Jessica Chancellor. Welcome to the show, you guys. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to have you guys on. So let's just dive straight into it. I want to learn the origin of just every guest on this show. So you guys decide who goes first, but we want to know, how did you first get into fan film / filmmaking in general? What was your first experience?
Go for it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be on the show. Honestly, I was thinking back on it today, trying to figure out like when I first started doing like fan films, and I'd have to say like high school, honestly. It's like none of them, you cannot find anything online because we didn't have the internet to upload it to back then, but probably high school I started doing fan films. They were terrible, but yeah, it's elevated since then, and I think we've gained a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. For me, it was probably about 6-7 years ago. I did a proof of concept for a Red Hood type of show, and I did that, wrote it, produced it, starred in it, and it was a very, very nice learning curve. And just from then on, doing things with NerdBot, with Crimson Vision, and bringing that into doing things on our own with Mystery Incorporated.
And that leads me into Mystery Incorporated. This is your latest project, and it is taking over. It has great stats, huge amount of fan base, and without any further ado, I'd like to play a clip. So can we play that clip so the audience can see what I'm talking about?
Roll it.
You have what it takes to defeat me?
Welcome to Coolsville.
Ooh,
Yay!
Very cool. So my first question is to Jess. Jess, what is your favorite part about playing Daphne?
Ooh, my favorite part about playing Daphne is getting to dive into a character that is similar to me, but also incredibly different. And it's finding those, like just right on the line of like me with adding somebody else. And I really like being able to play with her attitude and her confidence and a few of those items that I don't have in real life. Oh, and her fashion. Her fashion's great.
Well, I think, oh yeah, well, you're doing a great job. My next question is for Dade. Can you tell us about the exact moment when you thought, hey, what if I do like a mature Scooby-Doo type series? Were you just sitting on the couch, or did you brainstorm it for a while? What was that exact moment that Mystery Incorporated became a real thing?
Well, there's a lot of different stages to that question. The first moment it was conceived was not the first moment it became a real thing. It's been 6 years of blood, sweat, and tears. I have a buddy of mine that I used to write a lot of stuff with, and we just finished writing the first feature film script I've ever written, which was like a zombie film, and we were sitting editing that, and we just kind of got to talking about, well, what if there was a horror movie that was Scooby-Doo? And it really resonated with me. So I started to work on it. And the first draft of this was a short film that was straight up like horror, like something you would see out of like Evil Dead or something. And
gory, gross.
And I took a look at it and I was like, this isn't it. This isn't it. And so then I took it in a different direction to be more like the show Supernatural, but it was still short film. And we actually shot that 2 years ago and played with that a little bit. And there were some issues with certain things in production and, learning curves of making your own productions. And through all that is the moment that it really hit me that a show is where this needed to live. And the best way to tell a story would be in a format of an episodic, a lot like something you'd see on Supernatural or Riverdale. And once that idea hit my head, that's when this became real. That's when I really took off with the whole idea. Everything kind of was just laid out in front of me like a weird mirage. And now we're at where we are today.
Yeah, and it's very impressive. I thought it was an amazing trailer, and I can't wait to see where you guys go. This next question is for both of you. I'm going to start with Jess. Jess, if you could have a dream cameo in episode 1, anyone, they have to be alive, obviously, who would you want in episode 1 of Mystery Incorporated?
I think that I would want, I'm just going to say the gang from the 2000s live action movies. So Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard, Linda Cardinelli, and definitely Sarah Michelle Gellar, because you also get that Buffy spin. So any of them and all of them I would want.
And Dade?
Well, I mean, she just stole my answer, but it's okay. I will expound upon that answer. I would also love to have Frank Welker, the original voice actor who played Fred, and he currently does Shaggy and Fred as well. I'd love to have him make a cameo, as well as Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki from Supernatural.
That'd be rad. Our story definitely opens up for lots of cameo from lots of different entities, the way we've written the script.
That is awesome. Great answers. Okay, we are going to move on to the next show. This one is something I'm a little more familiar with, Arrow Unlimited. Now, this is a gender swap DC universe that Jessica is the lead in. She plays Olivia Queen, and it's basically the entire DC universe, just completely flipped gender swap, but still similar stories from the comics and the TV show and the movies. And to show you guys what we're talking about, could we please play a clip of Jessica killing a bunch of people in the hallway fight scene?
Always.
Ooh, a trail of dead bodies. Yeah. All right. So, Jess, I have a question that I don't think I ever asked you about this show. Obviously, Oliver Queen has, "You failed this city." What would Olivia Queen's quote be, and why?
I feel like that's a hard question. I feel like Olivia doesn't really need a quote. She would just kill them, straight up. But I don't know. Maybe it'd be like, "You disappointed this city," because disappointment is so much more hurtful than failure.
What? You have disappointed this city.
Have you ever had somebody be like, "I'm disappointed"? How hurtful is that?
Yeah, it's like the classic thing is, "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed." So maybe that could be Olivia's. Okay, and so we are approximately 2 episodes and some teaser trailers in. Do you have a favorite scene that you've filmed so far from the past 2 episodes and the teaser trailers we've done?
I think, honestly, the whole of filming has been super enjoyable. I think I have 2 answers. I think my first answer is the stunts. Working with the stunt team is always amazing. They make me look like a badass, feel like a badass. And then the second thing probably was when I got to ride the motorcycle in the first episode. That was really fun. I love riding, and it was really nice to be able to bring something else that I love into another passion of mine, filmmaking. So that was great.
Yeah, I was there for the motorcycle scene. That was badass. Felt like a real Hollywood production. And where do you see Olivia's team going as the story progresses? I know you're dealing a lot with this team of metas being shaped and a lot of chaos coming over Star City. Where do you think Olivia as a character is going to be going as the story progresses?
I feel like right now we see Olivia in a more like sullen, vengeful type. She's definitely more like a loner, and she's kind of like fighting back on having help. And I'd like to see her build a team at some point. I think like a really nice, well-rounded team where everybody has a job would be really cool.
I love that. All right, on to the next show. You guys have a lot of amazing content, so this makes it easy for me as a host. I can just bounce from project to project. But next up, we have Power Rangers Shattered. Now, this is a series that Dade is doing with Crimson Vision Studios, and he plays a unknown character in the Power Rangers realm, but we've seen him on the TV maybe once, but we're diving full into his origin story, who he is, what he does. Without any further ado, can we please play the reveal scene of Power Rangers Shattered Past?
Did you say Tate? Power down.
My name is Officer Landon Tate. Sky Tate is my son.
Ooh, and now for the Power Rangers nerds, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was a lot of our comments were like, "Oh, that's Sky Tate's dad! Oh my god!" Like everyone was blown away. So my question to Dade is, how did it feel suiting the Red Ranger suit for the very first time?
Oh man, that was a dream come true, man. Growing up, I really enjoyed Power Rangers. In fact, as a kid, I was grounded from watching Power Rangers for a little while because I got into a fight in Sunday school where we were playing Power Rangers, and I punched a guy for real. And my mom was like, "Why did you punch him?" And I said, "Mom, what was I supposed to do? I'm the Red Ranger and he was a putty. That's what happens." And so I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers for a little bit. But I think part of that made it why I really enjoyed watching it again afterwards. And just suiting up in, especially in the Time Force Red outfit, and getting to put my spin on this character that was touched on but never really expanded. And just getting to create that lore has been really, really cool.
Yeah, I was so hyped to look over and see the Red Time Force Ranger right next to me. So we are diving in and kind of creating our own mythos and legend of Landon Tate. And it's been really fun creating that character with you, but you've really taken the lead on it. What can we expect to see from Landon Tate in episode 2? What will we learn? What else can we expect to see about his past and where he's going in the future?
I think in episode 2, we will learn a lot about his relationships with his current team as Time Force as we know it in his year, and just really see him open up to Sam, and their relationship as the Time Bros will really build, and we'll get to see them come closer together, and which is something they're going to need if they're going to take on Draken. They need that trust, they need that bond, and I think episode 2 really delivers that, and the fight scenes definitely will not disappoint. We'll get to see a side of Landon throwing out some moves.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go to the audience questions now. Those were my host questions, but this is an interesting first one. Vincent K asks, is Jessica Chancellor playing Shaggy?
Yes. No, I'm playing Daphne. Daphne.
Shaggy will be played by Chris Villain.
Yeah.
Yes, and Chris Villain comes into Shattered Pass as well. We're forming a big fan film family.
Right?
Unintentionally, but yeah.
Okay, next question. From our good friend, Jordan Barnett. You guys know him as Blurred Vision. He does Unworthy. I have one question. Will Scooby speak?
Ooh. You know, there's a song that I think it's either Lizzie McGuire or the Olsen twins sing that is really the answer to this question, and it's "Our Lips Are Sealed."
Oh yes. I will say one thing though.
Okay.
Communication varies in several different ways, and they're definitely going to communicate.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see it, but I'm sure you guys have a super smart plan. All right, another question is, this one's for Jess. Will we get a Reverse Flash Origins and Arrow Unlimited crossover?
Oh, I mean, I would like that, but it's ultimately not up to me. I'm not the deciding factor in that, so I don't know.
All right, this one is for both of you guys. What do you like more, Power Rangers or Reverse Flash? Answer wisely. I have some stakes in here.
Oh. Do I like Power Rangers or Reverse Flash better? Well, since Flash himself isn't like available as an option, then Power Rangers.
Wow. I would say that I enjoy the Reverse Flash show and what you guys are doing with it and watching it grow, but I think I like Shattered Past the most.
Ooh,
I mean, First Ninja's great too.
You. Okay, next question. Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, I was wondering why we didn't bring up First Ninja yet, but it's okay. Your favorite scene you've ever filmed, right? When you splashed me with water.
Oh, that was my favorite
Oh.
scene.
Best scene.
I got to be the water.
That was... Yeah, you were. You just dumped it right there. All right, here's a question. Will the Scooby-Doo series have a cool theme song? Do you guys have the theme song mapped out yet? Will you be singing it, Dade? Tell us everything.
You know, that's a question that we ourselves have been talking about, and we don't really have an answer to that yet.
We've been kicking it around. We are definitely fans of the 90s. We are definitely fans of the theme song era. We just don't know yet what our plan is to bring it to this like modern level. But you guess you're just gonna have to watch the pilot.
Well, I'm just throwing this out there. I can play a mean harmonica. If you want some Scooby-Doo harmonica action in there, I'm your guy. Sign me up.
Just
Perfect.
No? Okay.
You know, 2 minutes of you playing a harmonica. That's the full theme song.
Yeah, that's the entire pilot, actually.
I'll be like, do. All right, next question is approximately how long will the Mystery Incorporated episodes be?
Each episode will be 1 hour in length, the same type of show that you would see on CW. That same length that you can expect from a show like Supernatural or Riverdale. It's going to be that same length.
That is awesome. Okay, I have a question from Edith. It says, I have a question. How does Fred's parents' death affect him in the show? As someone who's had a parent die, I'm interested to see how he's going to cope/deal with that. Ooh, heavy hitter.
Well, I don't want to talk too much about it because that's a really big plot point in the pilot episode. But I will tell you that Fred's parents are very important to him. And as you can see from the trailer, it's strong enough that it makes him want to dive into this world of the supernatural and go and hunt these monsters or demons or whatever they may be. So it's definitely the biggest effect on him and why he does what he does.
You guys are really after some spoilers out there. I think we all just need to chill a little bit and wait for the episode to come out, and you'll learn about it. Jess, would you consider Daphne to be kind of a mean girl or just privileged yet still pretty nice?
Ooh.
This is a good question. I think that at this point there are a couple sides to Daphne, and she herself is trying to figure out who she is and what she is. There's the way that her parents see her, there's the way that her friends see her peers see her, how she sees herself, and I think we're going to see her in the episodes and the rest of the series try to figure out which version of her she actually is. Kind of a weird answer, but...
I like it. A very deep character that we can all look forward to watching. Okay, next is, can we expect any merch to come out later this year from Mystery Inc.?
Hopefully so. That'd be great.
We've been contacted by some pretty heavy-hitting sources asking if we can collaborate. So fingers crossed. It's just all about towing that line with making sure that we don't piss off the big dogs upstairs.
Agreed. Why does Coolsville take place in Ohio and not in California where it's being filmed? Thanks, guys. Love y'all, with like 6 hearts.
Aw. Well, if you look at the initial, like the very original series, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? They're from Coolsville, Ohio. So it just made sense to keep it with the way that the canon is instead of trying to move them across the country.
Yeah. Could we get a Scooby-Doo Power Rangers crossover?
Anything's possible.
I mean, who knows? Scooby-Doo has crossed over with so many different things in its lifespan, like the entire Justice League, the Harlem Globetrotters.
There is a Power Rangers crossover. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already out there.
Here's the thing. The Power Rangers have crossed over with the Justice League, and the Justice League has crossed over with Scooby-Doo. So, who knows?
Will we hear any of the characters' catchphrases in the series? Yoinks, Jeepers, Jinkies.
Well, first off, it's zoinks. If it was yoinks, then Shaggy would just be running around stealing things from people. Yoinks! Yoinks!
But yes, short answer is yes. But you'll have to wait to see how they're used.
I know, I'm just giving you our time.
Okay.
Fred has many catchphrases.
Any fun nods?
One he uses.
Any fun nods to any of the multiple Scooby-Doo series out there?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. We are true Cores fans, and we have added so many Easter eggs and so many plot points that correlate but definitely are not the same. We're bringing a modern spin onto something you already love. So, yes.
There are a ton of Easter eggs in the trailer alone.
If you slow it down and you watch it carefully.
And the amount of Easter eggs in the first episode, we threw a lot in there.
Also, if you're looking for even more Easter eggs and footage, you can watch all the other videos on our YouTube. The question and answer video, we throw in a lot more clips that you don't see in the trailer. The Meet the Cast video. So if you want even more content, we've got so much.
We have a comment that says, that's kind of what Shaggy does. He just yoinks people's food.
That's
I feel
true.
like that's what Scooby does.
Scooby yoinks Shaggy's food. Maybe Scooby's catchphrase should be yoinks.
To both of the lovable goobers, that's you guys, favorite versions of Fred and Daphne?
Ooh, I think that I have 2 answers. My first answer is the Mystery Incorporated Daphne. I love how funny she is, how she's in love with Fred, but he never acknowledges her, but she keeps trying. I love how, she takes lead, and she's really like a definitive part of the group, where in the first series ever she kind of was just like the damsel of distress all the time. And then I also love her in Zombie Island because I love how sassy she is, and I love that she's like a boss and has her own TV show and is like hunting ghosts.
For me, that's a very hard question. I've grown up my whole life with this show and seen all the iterations. There was a dark time in the show where Fred wasn't in it, and that was very tough for me. But I would say, let's see. I love how he is in Mystery Incorporated. I love the lovable himbo, as our fans have been calling him, the himbo. And I love how he's just like trap obsessed, and his common sense isn't 100% there. But then I also really enjoyed Freddie Prinze Jr.'s take in the live action films. Really look up to him as an actor. That's a big inspiration to me. But I think if I had to pick one all-time favorite, it'd have to be the original, because that started it all. I mean, when I was a kid growing up watching that show, Fred was my dude, man. He was the leader of the gang. Like when they only split up when he said so.
That ascot.
He had that ascot though. But I mean,
ascot.
That being said, Zombie Island is my favorite film, and we'll leave it there. I've got so I love this character in every iteration, so it's hard to pick just
fair.
Got it. I love the passion about the character. The next question is a two-parter. How many episodes will there be? You guys are talking about the pilot, but will there be more after that?
Yes.
Ooh, that we have so many planned. We have an entire season planned, but it all kind of depends on funding, whether or not we can get them out to you guys. So right now we are fortunate to be funding the first episode through Indiegogo. We reached our initial goal, and now we are just pushing for a stretch goal to make this show even better than we can imagine. But yeah, it all depends on funding. So hopefully we have them planned.
Hopefully so. We've got entire concept. Actually, we have in what you call in the industry, we have a series Bible for our show, which maps out the entire series first season. So we have 12 episodes mapped out with full synopsis for each episode. But it all depends on how episode 1 goes and how everyone responds and how funding goes for each episode moving forward.
Well, we are going to be plugging where you can go to find the episode or the trailer, and where you can find the Indiegogo at the end of this. But there's a really, really important question that I've personally been waiting for since the beginning of this interview. It's kind of the whole reason why I'm doing this interview.
No.
Good night.
I know exactly what it is.
Any plans for Scrappy Doo?
I knew that's what was coming when you played this question up.
So far,
short answer, no.
No. I mean, anything can happen. The lore of Scooby-Doo and the pool of characters are so large. Anything could happen, but so far, no.
As I just said earlier, we have 12 episodes mapped out with full synopsis of each episode.
Rich characters that we know that are going to come in from Scooby-Doo past.
And so far, the only time that Scrappy Doo has come up is when you photoshopped him onto my chest for this promo.
Yes. Well, I think that counts. I think he's in the show now. He's right there. He belongs in the show. Okay, next question. Will the big bad be a Scooby-Doo existing villain or a different character altogether?
I'm going to say you definitely will know this character. And we are going to have lots of Scooby-Doo villains peppered in. No, Colin. No. No Scrappy.
Someone says Scrappy Doo, more like Crappy Doo.
I agree. Applause to them. I'm sorry. I was just not a Scrappy Doo.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It looks like our producer has
Way.
brought him into that.
Can you put one on my
Oh,
screen
man.
too?
I don't know why.
I want one. I want one right here. Oh,
Just move it
oh
over.
my God.
Just big enough to cover his face.
Kent Brown says, Colin and Dade, are you guys positive you're not related?
You know, I don't know if we're positive, you know, anything's possible, but as far as I'm aware, no. But we are time bros. Does that count?
Sorry, Kent. We're just time bros, not real guys. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, which side is he on? No, it's on this side.
Oh,
Hi,
no.
little guy. Scrappy better get a spinoff is a comment where it says this. Scrappy better get a spinoff. McKenna says,
You can.
will there
that
be
one.
any new villains? You said there's lots, but any originals?
Oh, yeah. Throughout the series, we're going to be diving into Scooby-Doo lore, but also just monster lore. There's so much Scooby-Doo has covered in the past, but also so much that it hasn't. And so we are open to any and all types of villains that you might see. And we have some really cool plans I think you're going to like.
Also, just don't expect everything that happened
Spooky
in the first
space
episode.
kook.
Oh, yeah. The pilot episode allowed some really good groundwork for the big bad, but you're not going to see the big bad in the first episode. So you'll just have to wait and see.
Got it. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Can you please tell the lovely viewers where you can find your Indiegogo, your YouTube, and all of your social media handles?
Yes. So you can find the teaser trailer up right now on our YouTube channel. It is Mystery Incorporated. You can see our little blue and green Mystery Incorporated logo. And we also have an Instagram that is Mystery_Incorporated_series, where you can see all sorts of our updates. We are also, even though we've reached our goal, we are still crowdfunding over on our Indiegogo. So if you search Mystery Incorporated on Indiegogo, or the links are in our Instagram and our YouTube page, then you can check that out too. And if you feel compelled to do so, check out our cool perks and rewards that we have. And really excited to bring you episode 1.
Yeah. That covers it.
And can you guys plug any other future projects that you guys have coming up? Any different shows, plans, anything that you want to tell the people to be on the lookout for?
Well, I actually have a feature film that I starred in that is in post-production right now. And the release has been pushed because of everything going on with COVID. But you can find more updates about that as I find them out on my Instagram, which is Dade Elza.
You can catch me in the latest episode of First Ninja and the upcoming episode of Arrow Unlimited, which is not out yet. Yeah, and then just Mystery Incorporated. We're pushing hard on it.
Mystery Incorporated is the big one. And I believe also we have an announcement to make, Colin, for speaking of upcoming things.
Yes. I'll briefly explain it, and then you give them the big news. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so Dade came up with an amazing series called X-Force Audition that stars him as Deadpool, me as Weasel, Jessica makes a cameo as Supergirl, and it's all about Deadpool interviewing different people to join the X-Force. And the announcement is...
The episode will be live this Friday on the NerdBot Studios YouTube channel.
Woo! It's really funny, you guys. You're going to love this episode.
I think this is the
Yeah.
first thing we've all been together.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
X-Force. All right, guys,
And our
thank you so much
Shaggy
for
Chris
coming out for
Villains
episode 2 of Fan Film Talk. Oh, yeah, we got the whole family together. So make sure you guys follow, subscribe, make sure you stay up to date on everything these amazing, talented people are doing. And I will see you on the next episode of Fan Film Talk.
Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. That was fun.